development, which is also, I mean, you look at Qualcomm, they invest something like $2 billion per year just in R&D for basebands. Who can match that? We certainly can't. We have $1 billion in revenue. So on that side of the house, I think you're looking at indeed a consolidation and one or two winners. Actually, the smartphone market itself is beginning to shape up that way as well. I'm sure it will change, but 2, 3 players maybe. But if you go to the other end of the spectrum, where you say, look, I'm willing to not look only at this massive pie of $25 billion in semiconductor TAM that I'm shooting at, and I'm going for more niche-y, but newer, and therefore also a bit more risky applications where I can actually win, then I think you have a chance, and I don't think that will change. Now, what happened in the VC community, the traditional model was always you were trying to become the next Broadcom, or you were trying to become the next Intel if you can. And it was at the leading edge, you were aiming at this big market, the VCs would come in with 10, 15, $20 million, which was enough to develop your first or your second piece of silicon, and then you'd have a go at it. That model is over. No VC is going to invest $100 million in a 22 nanometer chip against, you know, a big semiconductor company. It's not going to happen. So, and so we've seen indeed initially the funding for these types of startups go down. But I'm hopeful, and actually earlier today we talked about my good friend Libu from Walden, who is actually interested and still at it, investing in startups. But I can promise you he's probably not going to invest in a 22 nanometer chip, but would consider a system or a platform, something smart for a specific solution. For instance, in India, and fund that.
So I think we covered, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'd just like to add to,
sure.
See, even though consolidation may be happening, okay, which is the need of the economic structure of the industry is like that. However, you know, one part that has to be kind of recognized is that, you know, the leading edge innovation, you know, where there is a, high degree of risk, that typically does not take place in a very large, mega company churning revenues very, very fast. So even in that space, even while consolidation is happening, if there is a model that you can, separate out the cost structure associated with, taping out a chip in the, but still, play in the IP arena, the systems, creating systems arena, but you are delinking the cost associated with that. Okay, I think there is tremendous scope because I'll tell you the strategy. For example, Henry Samueli and Broadcom. There was a question asked in a similar in a large town hall meeting. He said, why are we not investing in this space? Okay, this is a big market. Okay, so the answer really was that. Okay, yes, we know it's a big market, but however, if we invested in this, then what's going to happen? Our chances of succeeding in this are as much as, let's say, 6 other startups which are doing this. I would rather pick up, let out of the 6, happen. I would pick up the winner out of that and buy them out, right? Because the amount of investment available for doing R&D is also limited with everybody. Okay. So if that R&D is happening out of n number of startups, but solving a very meaningful problem and very clearly cutting themselves out from the cost structure, okay, there is tremendous scope because there are large problems to be solved, because as systems become more smarter, there are large problems to be solved, and people who are working in that specific area just need to identify this. Okay, so I see a great future for a new model of the traditional model of investing in a company which will go all the way out to tape out a chip. Such investments will be very limited, okay, because not many people have the money to take such big risks. But smarter, I'm sure it's going to be happening. My hunch says that there is tremendous opportunity out there.
Since we covered most of the basic questions we had with the panel, would like to open the floor to audience and see if we have some questions for the panel. Barun?
Hi, I'm Varun from Smart Play. What is your viewpoint in non-traditional semiconductor area like sensor or MEMS? What is your viewpoint in growth and all those things, considering the fact that investment required in those areas is substantially lower than traditional ASIC investment?
What was the question?
Did-
Yeah, can you
so
repeat that, please?
Non-traditional semiconductor areas like MEMS and other things
Okay,
of
okay,
that
MEMS,
kind, right?
okay.
Which does not require as heavy investment and as a leading node ASIC thing.
Yeah.
How do you see the prospect of basically investment and technology creation in those areas?
Yeah, I think answer lies really, yes, I think it's a sweet spot. If you can, leverage a technology which is not, very high on cost structure, but if you can identify that what is the big problem you're going to solve using that technology. If you are able to map, if you're talking about MEMS, okay, in a MEMS, if there is a specific problem which is really mapping, is unsolved, okay, unsolved and mapping out to a large, space, I think, that's what, will really yield a result.
Yeah.
So, if I basically take an example of this thing, right? That I think in today's products, right, the interface from the product to world is becoming a very big differentiator. That's how does any product basically interacts with the environment, and the technology and the sensor capabilities which you can build using these alternate technologies like MEMS and all those things has tremendous potential to address the space of basically how a device interacts with the environment, be it basically your mobile phone, lights, all other things, right? Ultimately, it's an environment interaction which is going to become a big differentiator for these devices. So I think the potential is humongous, but again, the innovation and the technology availability is still at the nascent stage, and it has to get to a basically more mature stage to be able to use in the large scale application.
I would say onto that indeed. So it's not as mature as many of the other technologies, but it's the same story. If you're going to go out head on with Invensys or with ST, and you're trying to beat these guys and gain market share in the smartphone, it's not going to work. You need to have the angle. Could be a system angle, could be a specific technology attribute that you have nailed, or a better process, something. If you have that, you have a big chance.
Hi, Ravi from Black Pepper. The question I have is, we were discussing about movement from component to semiconductor to platform. And gentleman down there made an observation that it is a good focus to develop the platform and focus on that from a business growth perspective. But given that, a startup condition in India, and building a platform is a huge investment, right? So from every company growth point of view, we look at building small IPs and getting acquired or build the next stage. So how do you see this? It's a natural process for a startup, and looking at a small volume of investment. How do we actually scale up that funding if we were to get to work on the platform business right away, right? As you were trying to say, integrate a lot of systems, look across systems, buy small IPs. All these are costs, right? Components, and if we were to come up with an innovation, from an India-centric perspective, that's a huge volume of cost for somebody to bet onto that investment in the semiconductor market. So how do you see this, from India-centric perspective? We still seem to see that, building a small component and trying to integrate with the available platform, like, for example, Android solution or things like that makes a better working solution, because today an application on Android sells at $1 or $2, making a significant investment. Then you stage to the next investment. How do you see this?
Well, I see this as what I was talking about, these, see, if you talk about putting things together, then you are actually, picking up things which are a lot cheaper. They are commodity, okay? But the art is in putting the commodity together to create the art, create the picture together. So there, a startup actually has, if the cost is high for a startup, the cost is far higher in another setup, okay? So your opportunity, if you have mapped the right opportunity, I think you just got it, okay? You're using low cost commodity technology or commodity products, commodity components, commodity software. You have been able to conceive of a largest solution, okay? And doing it in a startup, phase where, you can really work very creatively together, okay? So, no, I don't think a startup, or I may say, a smaller company needs to aim lower, okay? Because the cost is a relative angle, okay? And you enjoy a far greater advantage in putting that a smart team who is able to conceive of a solution, who can identify problems well. Then yes, your advantage is greater in solving a larger problem than solving a small problem. Because if you solve a small problem, you will also produce something which is commodity to be used by somebody else. Okay, you're not being competitive enough.